Pleasure being here.
We would like to get a wine to go with the tempoyak.
So the coconut milk on last, right?
Yes.
Suck the sauce.
It's okay. You can use
suck the sauce, let me suck the sauce.
Yeah, you can use
What the hell is this? This is a pillar. Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. Having started out as a tin mining town plagued with diseases, fires, and flood, it is today 160 years old and a sprawling metropolis of almost 2 million people. Situated at the meeting point of two big rivers, the Klang and Gombak, Kuala Lumpur means the muddy confluence. Today, it is also the confluence of the best cuisines on the Malaysian peninsula. I'm here to embark on a gastronomic adventure. And I must say, I'm quite excited about meeting my host, Paula Malaya Lee. My first day in Kuala Lumpur, I was supposed to meet Paula at the fountain. Saw her for the first time.
Alvin, hello.
Paula, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Good to meet you.
I was a bit nervous because it's like girl meet boy or boy meet girl for the first time. And she was, really acting like a guy right away.
We're gonna go for a traditional Malay breakfast. I think you're gonna like this.
I'm sure I will. Nasi lemak is the favorite breakfast of choice for the locals in Malaysia. The measure of a good nasi lemak is by the age of its clientele. The older the customers, the better the nasi lemak. We're here?
This is nasi
Funny
lemak
hair.
heaven.
Okay.
The breakfast of champions.
Instead of using a scoop, a spoon, a fork, she was using her hand. When we do it in Hong Kong in my kitchen, we try not to do it publicly, so we don't let the client see that we're using our hand. But in here, they do it openly. So this is great. This is breakfast.
This is gonna set you off. It's gonna put you in the best mood. Okay.
Breakfast in the
Let me
bag.
get one more. Now it's my turn to get mine.
Okay. Of course, when we sat down at the table, we didn't have our own table because it was so crowded. So I sat down with three Malaysian gentlemen, and we opened up, and I started to eat.
Nasi lemak in its essence wouldn't have had all this lung, or we saw fried chicken. It would have been
Okay.
just this basic thing.
So the lungs, okay?
Yeah.
Here's
Oh,
mine.
well, one sec, Alvin. Put it down.
Put it down.
Always eat with your right hand.
On my right hand.
With your right hand,
Oh.
because the left hand is to do other stuff, which is not really.
I used my left hand, and right away I knew I did a no-no. I would have offended everyone there that was Muslim because you can't touch food with your left hand, because I was told that you do other things with your left hand, which is incorrect because I do the other things with my right hand.
So this really was a food that was a fisherman's food or a farmer's food. It was a meal that would give you sustenance, give you,
Okay.
the strength to get you through the day.
Okay.
You basically just got rice, cucumber, egg, and the ikan bilis,
All
which
right.
is of course a salted fish,
So I
right?
can really taste that coconut in the rice. I mean, even with all the red sauce, taste some of yours because yours is pure white. You don't have all the red stuff in. Wow, the coconut in there, you can really feel the coconut. The rice, that was fantastic. It's fluffy, very aromatic, lots of coconut flavor. Mine is all red, and so this is definitely a chili sauce.
This is a sambal, and it's just basically pound chili. I'm not exactly sure what goes into it. We'll
Okay.
have to ask the lady that runs it, but again, it's a major component of nasi lemak. It just gives it that zing factor. You will not find a Malaysian who will have nasi lemak without sambal.
Oh. So I started to taste the sambal, which, it was obviously hot because it's made of chili and it was a bit sweet. So not my thing, but interesting. Nasi lemak translated literally means fatty rice and can be rather bland if eaten alone. What it needs is a little panache, and this it gets from the sambal sauce. The first thing I need to know, what is in the sambal?
Cili, belacan, bawang, ikan bilis, gula, garam, haji.
Okay.
So the belacan is the key factor.
The key factor,
Yeah.
belacan. And I know what belacan is because that's dry shrimp paste. Now next, I need to know what's in the rice.
Tahu garam, daun pandan, bau tong santan.
So the first thing I noticed was the aroma.
Yes.
And that's coming from the pandan leaf.
A very subtle, kind of pretty taste, isn't it? And then you just leave it for 30 minutes just to set, let all the ingredients kind of bind together, and there you have your perfect breakfast.
Great. And it's hot. And it's hot as well.
Steaming rice.
Great. The Malay culture is one of simplicity and humility. And this is reflected in Malay food, which often sold in simple street stalls. It is thus rare to find a fine dining restaurant that specializes in Malay cuisine.
Hi,
Hi, Lisa.
welcome to Bijan.
It's a pleasure being here.
Can I get something to drink?
Yes, actually, we would like to get a wine to go with the tempoyak.
I was really looking forward to tempoyak because I know it's a fermented durian dish.
So in the village, what happened is they have an abundance during the harvest. So they realized that by fermenting it for a few days, it makes a great sambal.
So she ordered a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc, which is always a good choice with Asian food. And then they brought in the dish.
We're going to try the pucuk ubi sambal tempoyak with ikan bilis.
Sauce is very nice. It's got creamy, and it's got the, you can definitely taste the durian. This is the tapioca leaf, right? Quite chewy. I really wanted to, spit it out like chewing gum, so I had to, for me, I would rather smoke this than eat it. Lisa may be knowledgeable when it comes to the cultural background of her restaurant dishes. But when it comes to actual cooking, she employs an expert, Chef Zhu.
You put the tempoyak, okay, and then you put the
blanch.
Just put the standard.
So the coconut milk on last, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is much better. At the end of the street from Bijan, it's the beginning of a very popular foodie street, Jalan Alor. Cramped to the max with food stalls and restaurants, it's a must-not miss for those on a food trail in KL.
It's got every kind of Malaysian food under the sun. It's not so popular in the afternoon because it's just so damn hot. So I'm going to bring you back in the evening. It's going to give you a completely different vibe.
Tonight, for sure?
Not tonight, but definitely before we're ended.
This is the hot.
You want it hot?
Yes.
She's hot, but she's not that hot. In a country like Malaysia, good food can be found everywhere, but often the best are found outside the big cities, when recipes tend to be unadulterated. The only catch is the long drive to get to these places, something I do not look forward to. Why is it called Soup Tulang then?
Well, we're going to ask a guy who owns it, and here he is. This is Hussein, the owner.
Hello, Paula. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Hussein, pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, thank you.
The first thing he did was he took me to his kitchen and showed me how to do his signature dish, which is Soup Tulang.
The bone, you boil it
Boil it more for 1 hour.
one and a half hour.
Okay, is this lamb bones?
Yes, a lamb bone. So
lamb
we have
bones it is.
chili paste,
All right, chili paste,
tomato
tomato sauce. He cooked it, he showed me a secret recipe, the tomatoes and the ketchup and the chili and all that. But his secret, which is soy sauce and oyster sauce, quite interesting, because this is very Chinese.
So after it's boiling,
Yeah.
you can just take the chili paste,
Okay.
one shot, no problem.
One shot.
Then you put
Okay.
the soy sauce.
Soy sauce. Okay. This is the hot. That's the spicy.
You want it hot?
Yes.
Okay. Very hot. She's hot.
Okay.
She's really hot.
Okay, I put it.
Well, she's not that hot.
To make it more thicker, yeah?
Yeah, just
You
thicken
see?
the sauce. I'm really looking forward to this.
This is just the
put something like
accessories.
this,
Yeah.
Yes, and the cabbage.
Okay. Wow.
We've
we've decided we don't need these, right, Hussein?
Yes, you can use a bare
Put
hand.
those away, but we've
Okay.
got this on a
Yeah.
plate.
To suck
So
the
that's a
marrow.
sauce. Suck the sauce.
It's okay. You can do
suck
that.
the
so
sauce. Let me
no
suck the
problem.
sauce.
I'm glad we're not on a
Sauce,
date,
okay?
Alvin, because I would have
I
left
love
already.
to suck the sauce, okay? Of course I knew it was going to be to suck the marrow, but you know, I was just messing around.
I want to suck the marrow. Can we do this?
Yes, you can
Okay.
use your hand.
All right, how do we
So-
do this? So,
Yes.
just take the one piece,
Yes.
is it?
You want to use the spoon?
No, 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 no. Come on, let's keep it real.
I'm going to do this.
You try and suck.
I love bone marrow.
You want to knock it?
Okay.
Okay, let's
All right.
knock it. There's a kato.
Knock it.
Okay. Yeah, you can use
And we had sauce on Paula's clothes. I had it all over my hand. It was a very messy dish, okay? So the first thing I thought was, what if I was to serve that in a fine dining restaurant? People knocking dish, all the noise and all this red sauce flying over the place.
No, actually, this sopula before is from South Johor, Johor Bahru. It's actually from the mama shop.
Hey, I'm the joker.
I think we all like the joker.
So I'm gonna try this with bread.
I could just eat this with the sauce. It's like,
Is it very nice, the sauce?
I love it.
The sauce was actually a little bit too sweet for me, and I can't really taste the oyster sauce and the soy sauce. I picked up and started chewing at the marrow, which I did not really like. It's almost like messy fried chicken. You're really eating the sinew and all that, and I hate it because I got loose teeth, and I get all these sinew stuck to my teeth.
It's such a sensual food. You're getting your fingers dirty. You're doing some sucking action.
I'm getting a boner right now.
Bone marrow is like, yeah.
You're getting a boner right
He's
now.
talking sexy again. I'm gonna suck this.
Chew on this all morning.
Really nice.
It's such an enjoyable experience. I love it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
Lick my finger.
No. Lick my finger.
I think it was around 6, so it was time for dinner. We went to Jalan Halal. It's people everywhere, okay? They got tables on half the street, and everybody's eating outdoor.
I want to introduce you to a very popular Malaysian dish. It's satay, meat on a stick, okay?
I saw, wow, every kind of food you can think of. So what did she take me to a fucking cheap satay place, okay? So anyway, I don't know, was it her turn to treat?
Hello, can I order some satay, please? We want to get 5 chicken and 5 mutton, please. Thank you very much. Originally, it was part of the nomadic people's food. It was, meat on the go, and they would rear cattle.
Yes.
So this was the easiest thing for them. And back in the day, they'd put it on a metal skewer, but we've evolved. Well, that was
Oh,
fast.
great, come. What do I think of the satay? Too dry, too sweet, okay, and too does not taste like meat. The sauce, peanuts, a hint of lemongrass, and a bit of turmeric. I'm sure there's turmeric in there from the color. Now, in the peanut sauce, I taste the element of peanuts and lemongrass. And the first thing that came to mind is cocktail. I can do something with anything. You can, eat dirt off the street, I'll do something
Can you
with
do
it.
something with that?
Yes.
Deconstruct that?
No, that's what I can do. Yeah. After the satay, I decided to call it a night. While drifting in and out of sleep, dreaming about the deconstruction, I hear pumping music blaring from above. That's where my tasting session will be held tomorrow.
Ooh. Oh,
look at that.
Nice. That is brilliant.
So, see, look at that.
That's perfect.
It's 8 in the morning and I'm back in school. I wanted to basically do it in a learning institute and basically have some student come and see what we do because I want to pass my message, pass, what I'm doing. You always have one organized kitchen and not a chaotic kitchen. What the hell is this? This is a pillar. Don't worry. We went to satay.
Yeah.
We had the mutton satay and we had the chicken satay. So one was very dark, one was very light. So I'm gonna try to, get that visually. The first cocktail is gonna be peanuts, tamarind juice, palm sugar. The cocktail, I'm thinking of using the satay as an inspiration. It's the perfect deconstruction, hot instead of cold, solid instead of liquid. This is gonna be served very, very cold. So what you do is you get a little bit of coconut milk, peanuts, and the turmeric to give it a bit of acidity, sugar. Because it's dark color, so it's gonna look like beef satay or lamb satay. And I'm gonna mix that with a powder called etel. I'm gonna make it into a foam, put it into a siphon, and then I'm just gonna spray it out and onto satay sticks. And then I'm gonna put that into nitrogen. And then the other one, I'm gonna use lemongrass, make it more sour, so it'll be lemongrass, lime, and turmeric to give it a bit of color. So it's gonna look like chicken satay. Chicken, satay, and the
That is just,
beef satay.
that's genius, I think.
So after the cocktail, we're gonna have the tempuyak. I'm gonna do it 3 ways. Now, let's do the soup first. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a tapioca leaf soup. I'm gonna take some tapioca leaf, some chicken stock, maybe a little bit of cream, and make it, blend it all together. So now instead of having that chewy, dry leaf, it's gonna be like a liquid. See that liquid? See how green that liquid is?
Yeah, that's a lovely color.
Okay. Get this out of here. And then underneath it, I'm gonna put in the fermented durian. And on top, I'm gonna take some coconut milk, put a fancy series of swirl. I'm trying to also layer the flavor out. It gives you a different effect when the ingredients are basically releasing the flavor in your mouth at different times. Now the second one, I'm gonna make the texture even more dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the leaf, deep fry it, okay? So basically, it's gonna eat like a potato chips. And then I'm going to dehydrate the fermented durian. So we dehydrate this for almost a day, and this is what it becomes. And then I'm gonna crush it into a powder, and then I'm gonna mix it with the leaf. So it's almost like a tapioca leaf potato chips. A little bit of turmeric powder, chili powder.
Yeah.
It's now a completely different experience from the wet experience to a completely dry experience. I have here a piece of beef.
Yep.
The third is going to be a completely different take on the tapioca. These I just kept on mentioning. It will go with fish, and seafood will not go with meat. So I got to prove her wrong. I'll prove her right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to marinate this beef for 2 days in the durian. Hopefully the durian flavors will go into the meat and also tenderize it. I'm gonna vacuum pack this, all right?
Yep.
Because when you vacuum pack something, it infuses in faster. Then I'm gonna sous vide it, okay? Which means I'm gonna cook at very low temperature. So I'm putting this in, so I'm gonna wait for we're gonna wait for 15 minutes, okay? So we got the beef. After I get it out, I'm just gonna flash grill it, and you're gonna get this nice crispy burnt flavor on top of the beef. Third dish.
That's wonderful. Celery leaf.
Celery leaf. Oh yes, forgot the celery leaf. Where's the celery leaf?
Come on, celery leaf.
Come on, celery leaf.
Oh yeah.
Just make sure it's dead. So the soup de langue, basically for that particular dish, it was awkward to eat. So what I want to do for that dish is I'm gonna try to put that dish on the fine dining table. I'm gonna make my own bone. What I'm gonna do is I am going to get a mold of a piece of lamb bone. And then I'm gonna pour into that mold, a mixture of rice flour and potato and make my own potato rice cake. So I'm gonna steam this for 2 hours, okay? Set menu steam start. Okay, good.
That is brilliant.
So see, look at that.
That's perfect.
So I'm just gonna put it there and let it dry out, okay? Feel that. Feel
Oh,
that,
that's
right?
nice.
Okay? I'm just gonna season the shank a bit, okay? With a bit of salt and a bit of pepper, okay? I'm gonna braise lamb shank with all the ingredients that Hussein was using. I'm gonna take out the soy sauce and oyster sauce because I don't think that was doing anything for the dish. Fantastic, doesn't it? I'm gonna go ahead and blend that. And then I'm going to cut the lamb shank into bite-sized pieces and make a real soup. Thick, hearty, whatever. All right, so we're gonna put this away. And then I'm going to also harvest some marrow separately. Put your finger here, okay? Just push.
See it coming out.
See it coming out, okay.
Alvin!
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna soak the marrow in soda water for a day. And that bleaches it. I mean, it's gonna be pure white marrow. What's missing? What's
The
missing?
marrow.
The marrow, of course, okay? Oh, they're boiling now? Boiling now.
Here we
Okay,
go.
good, Fred.
All right.
All right, thank you, Fred. And then I'm just gonna serve in a bowl of this mixture of the lamb shank, and then I'm gonna lay on these nice white layers of bone marrow, And then on top of that, I'm gonna put my bone. So this whole dish now becomes eatable by knife and fork. Of course, the only thing left is the nasi lemak. She packed it like in a brown paper bag. First thing that came to my mind was it looks like an ice cream cone. You got coconut, you got pandan, and you got a sweet sambal. So I'm gonna make a green ice cream cone, flavor it with pandan leaf or pandan essence. So the ice cream, of course, will be coconut ice cream. I made a foam. So this is just coconut milk and sugar. So it's like a nice foam, right?
Yeah.
What's in the cornet? You got these little tiny streaks of sometimes strawberries on it. That's perfect because the sambal. So this is white chocolate, chili, and the balacha, all right? So that's gonna go on top of this, and then I'm gonna freeze it. So I'm gonna just stud it, the top with some peanuts, and then have a little bit of the anchovies, you know, sticking out of it, and that's it. Nasi lemak ice cream cornet. Everyone arrived on time for the tasting. I've also invited Alexandra, an editor for a popular Malaysian food blog. Okay, thank you very much for coming to my tasting. We are not going to tell you what the dish is. So we're gonna start out with some mocktails.
It was because of the way it was presented that I believed, okay, this must be a satay. But from the taste alone, I wasn't getting that. When it was pureed into a soup form, it had a very green taste, and I love health smoothies. So for me, like a spinach smoothie is good. And I know not a lot of people like that, but for me, I really enjoyed that very chlorophyll taste.
The texture and the taste completely changed. The dried leaf that he did with the durian powder, it smelled like durian, but it tasted nothing like it. So again, it was mind-boggling and shocking. The theory was that traditionally tempoyak is used for seafood and as a sambal. It doesn't really go with meat. So he didn't actually cook the tempoyak with the meat, he just marinated it, and which is very clever because he understood that acidity from the tempoyak will tenderize meat. So I think in that sense it works. The beef was delicious.
The next dish, please enjoy.
He make it simple in fine dining. You can put the marrow just one spot, and very nice, you know.
What impressed me most was the bone marrow. The way he had treated it, it melted in your mouth. The fat just busted in your mouth, and it really tastes like foie gras.
So this is the final dish.
Sambal in ice cream form, I would have never thought that possible, but he did it. There was something with the play on the salty and the sweet and the spicy that just made it really an amazing dish.
We can start the business together.
I think if it hadn't been for my experience today in the kitchen, it would have been just another travel show showing someone around. And then you see what this is all leading up to. And I think, yeah, today for me just encapsulated the essence of this show called The Maverick Chef.
I think everything went just as planned as always. Of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alvin.